Welcome back to Satisfactory. My name is Nilaus and we are continuing on our beautiful, well, efficient at least, bus base here. So thank you very much for joining, and we can see we're coming to the end of the line, into the bus, and if we go over here, like quite literally, if we go over that line, then we die. That is the edge of the map, so don't go there. So we also have like these beautiful new belts because, hey, I got some power, some of those time crystals, and we got the Trigons last time, so oh boy are they fast. So this is also one of the interesting things about this bus. Like, I don't know how many comments I got, like, oh, it doesn't work because you don't have enough resources and blah blah blah. It's like, this is 2,400 of each of these. It's enough. I mean, right now we're just chugging along, throwing away 15 supercomputers and 11 turbo motors, just like that, without a care in the world. Oh yeah, and 2.5 nuclear pasta per minute, just without a care in the world, and the bus is still happy and stable. So, well, today we're going to be unlocking some new tech, the quantum encoding, and that means these three designs are all made in quantum encoders, the neural computer, the superposition oscillator, and the synthetic power shards. So those will be the objective for today because their designs are actually quite similar. So we need to unlock quantum encoding and we need to unlock the Mark III blueprint. The thing is with the Mark III blueprint, it's really weird. You can take my blueprints, even though if you don't have unlocked the alternate recipes, you don't have unlocked the buildings, you don't have unlocked the Mark III blueprint, and you can still use them. Isn't that weird? Like, there's no check of does this even exist in, or is this even unlocked? So that means even though I build it in a Mark 6 or a Mark III 6x6 blueprint, you can still use it in your base. So just FYI. And of course, that comes back to the whole idea about blueprints being something I'm providing for patron supporters as a thank you for supporting the channel. What a beautiful candy colored bus. So let's go back and unlock some tech. So the first thing we want to unlock is the quantum encoding here. And that gives us access to new machines. And there we go. Punch it. No random or no rare spawn here. The next part. Oh, that's here.
This is not a competition, but other pioneers, such as 83CKY and U531355, had already completed project assembly by this point. Fixit was obviously wrong about you, but perhaps so was I. Regardless, you have finally unlocked the quantum encoder, which requires vast fluctuating power and excited photonic matter to produce highly complex parts. Do not make the same mistakes managing the resulting dark matter residue as you did other byproducts. Project part number 11, the AI expansion server, is now your highest priority. Galaxy-wide project management is taxing to even the most advanced among us, especially those who have to manage the less advanced. Like kittens and puppies, who are definitely still waiting for you to save them.
I'll get around to it, don't worry. So now we have the issue here that we need a blueprint designer, and I want to use the blueprint designer in order to build the quantum neural processor. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do the usual thing that we always do with these kind of things. Like for unlock, neural quantum processor. So just get 2 of those. I think it's a stack of 50 each. Yeah, stack of 50. So we just purchased that. It's fine. We got tickets. Plenty of tickets, so we got that, and then we can unlock the Mark III blueprint as well in a little bit. And the next milestone, we just take our fused modular frame, which should be the last thing we need. Let's have a look, and there, and there. Here we go. That is the next unlock. Now we're ready to design.
Milestone
Let's hear what it
reached.
says.
The Blueprint
we have one
Designer
more
Mark
thing.
III allows for 20% increased blueprint size in all dimensions, for an overall 71.2% increase in volume. Sadly, I doubt we will see equivalent increases in your efficiency.
She's still being really snide, but I'm missing the dialogue with the alien artifact. So here we go. There's a synthetic power shard.
Research completed. Synthetic power shard recipe unlocked. Exchanging regular exercise and filtered fresh air with automation is just the kind of progress Fixit likes to see.
Perfect. Let's do some design work. So the first thing we want to do is build a blueprint designer. Let's smash it up here. And then we are going to load a blueprint. And I have, of course, made a template factory for us already so that we can work on that. And that's basically the same as our other template factory. It has some pillars, it has some floor, and it has some lights underneath so we can see what's going on. Good. let's have a look at our neural computer here, neural quantum processor, because this is the one we want to make first. So what does it take? It takes time crystals. We have that on the bus. We have supercomputer. We have it on the bus. It reads trigons, which we have on the bus. It's beautiful, isn't it? And then it has something called excited photonic matter that we need to figure out how to do. That is just made in a converter, and it's just made without any byproducts or anything. So we can go back to this one. And then we have a neural quantum processor as an output, and we have a lot of dark matter residue. Dark matter residue is interesting because it can be made from SAM, but it also is made as a byproduct from this process. And then we can look at, you can't really get rid of the dark matter residue because it's a liquid, not a liquid, gas, not a gas, whatever. It's a thing. But supposedly it's difficult to get rid of because you have to handle it. No, you don't. You just put it in here and make it into a particle accelerator. Just make it into this. Easy. If you want more dark matter crystals, you can use these recipes. I don't really necessarily see the point of that. Maybe though, for this case, because then we can make a lot of dark matter residue. Anyway, we go back to this one, and that means what we need to do is we need to make a building for the neural processor. Then we need a building for converting the dark matter residue back into crystals that we can then throw into a sink if needed. And then we need to make this. So the rest is simple. So we look at, oops, need to do that here. And look at this quantum encoder. Look at that. Good. It looks big. Good thing we have a big blueprint planner, right? Isn't that insane? So they make a new 6x6 blueprint planner, and then they make a building that's still too big. Well, that bothered me a little bit. But the thing is, you're only going to need one of these. You're not really going to need a lot of them. They are incredibly intensive. They look beautiful, I guess. But let's just plop it down here and see. So this one is going to make, what was it said, in the neural processor. And it's requiring 15 time crystals. We got that. Supercomputers, we got that. Fixed trigons there. So let's see, what happens if we do this? Whee! That's not a problem. Right, we get 15 of those. We can consume 7.5 supercomputers. We get a ton of dark matter residue. So let's figure out how to make the photonic matter. We can actually do that right there. Yep, so photonic matter is just going to be in here, and I needed to make 187.5. There we go. That's just free. I don't know, but it seems weird that we just make that out of nothing. Very simple process. So that's taken care of, and all this is taken care of. The only thing is the residual product that we need to take care of as well. So we're going to be taking this one. And then we have the different options. And let's see. So this is simply just taking it out. And how much do we produce? We produce 375. Okay, so 37.5, I guess. There we go. So that just takes care of it and then makes 37.5. That's an option. What about this one? That makes a hell of a lot extra dark matter at the expense of some time, like a lot of time crystals, like lots of time crystals. Actually, a little bit too many time crystals. So let's scrap that. We do this one. Yeah, this is good. It takes takes what we need, and that means we get 37.5 excess time crystals. Yay! All right, so we just need these two things put in a block. And now I am going to be looking a little bit into the future. This one, the particle accelerator, can be based in a 5x5, but I don't want to put it in a 5x5. I want to put it in a 6x6 because we know that I know that there will be a need for a little bit more space later on. So this one should be positioned in a corner. I'm going to get the belts in here, that way. And this one will have, hold on, we do copy paste here so that we are sure that we get the right recipes and sizes. So it's going to have a liquid inbound and a solid outbound. Okay. And then the next thing is you. I know it's a little bit silly to have this big of a build here for so small of a quantity here, but I guarantee you this is the right thing to do. Okay, and I think this is fine. You are going to just make excited photonic matter. How much? I don't know. Like that much. Good. So let's design this. It's at this point, what we also have to think about is that this module should be carrying stuff like the way I want it is, how do I describe this? As a branch, I'll first have the branch module start with the sink and the box and the dimensional doors. So here, then I'll have usually what I'd have is the entire building, but that doesn't work. So I'll have one module like this, and then go afterwards into just placing it into one of these. Since this can't be placed in a blueprint, I'm just going to place it, well, somewhere. So that's the plan of it. And that means this will be an intermediate. The question is, should I make this so that I can have multiple of these? So you can have multiple out into multiple, because it's basically one of these modules fits to one of these fully overclocked. And I just really at this point have a hard time imagining that I'm going to need more than 15 neural quantum processors per minute. I just can't imagine it. But let's do it modular, because that's kind of how it is. That means we need to bring through some things here. That means the stuff that is required here, so like time crystals, supercomputers, fixed trigons, need to be on the bus or on the branch here. And this is one at the bottom, one at this here, and then the return is on the top, on this top. And then we're going to get probably just another line out here, which will be 2 other locations. I don't only think 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 inputs and 1 output. Does that make sense? Ooh, we also need another output called, this one we can convert to dark matter residue. So this one needs to be another output, which I'm then going to put up at the top level here. So 1, 2, 3 inbounds, and then 2 outbounds. Yes, 1 outbound here and 1 outbound here. Good. All right, that's kind of making sense. Let's hook this up and with belts and pipes, and then see how that goes. Here we have the final blueprint. It is ready to go. We have marked up all the ingredients coming in and out. Luckily, most of them are coming from the bus, so that's pretty easy. And that gets us sort of transition into the next one, which will be a little bit tougher. So here we have the candy-colored pipes or fluids for the excited photonic matter. That's the stuff that comes out here. And also this is the excited photonic matter, and the other one is the dark matter residue, which is not dark at all, but actually pink. And we have the time crystals coming back out. So let's implement this one. And we're going to do that by going to the end of the bus. And we're kind of already soon running out of summer loops, because I'm kind of using them everywhere. But hey, they need to be used. So whatever summer loops you have, use them, because they are free stuff. And they are very valuable. And if you don't have enough, then go out and find some more. And if you don't have more, then just prioritize them as I do. Alright, neural computers, it should be easy. We will do this by looking at a branch. That one we've done before. Let's go through this. And then the other one is the neural computer that we have now designed. That's going to be like this. And yes, it is super weird that I have it this big, but it will make sense once you see the other ones. That is the plan at least, because we know we need to fit in more for the other ones. So that's why I might as well do that now. I am going to take the power into here, and then that should be fine. And then I'm gonna go power from here to here, and it starts up. Then I am going to get some inputs here. This input is going to be trigons, and this input here is going to be time crystals, and that's up here. Does that work? That's because I missed it. There you go. That is not supposed to be here. Try again. And there. Then it goes in. There you go. That's trigons. And then I have this out here, which will be a priority splitter. 1, 2, 3. I'll take the other 2 down. And then the trigons go in here. And then I'm going to build a merger here. There. So that gets now in and then can be thrown out. Do I actually have the connection here? Nope. Is this enabled? Yes, it is. Good. Oh, let's actually just see. 676. That's pretty good. Right. So this is good. And then I also need to make it into a box, because we need this stored in case of needing it for something else. So let's make it aligned to the other box that is like this, and then put it here on top and there. And then it goes from here and here. Ah, man, this is beautiful. Then I just need to configure this to be, the primary thing is going to be output here. Nothing goes straight ahead, and an overflow goes into the sink. So that's the dark crystals that will now be put up here. Great. Awesome. The only thing missing is the input of there. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to find these three things inbound. It is trigons, time crystals, and supercomputers. Cool. And we're hooking up the last thing, that is the supercomputer belt. And I think this is just, oh man, why did I have to misplace it just as I started talking? Maybe because I started talking. So I think it's a testament to how well this space works by the fact that I could just go in and say, oh yeah, I need 7.5 supercomputers per minute. Sure, let's just get that. No problems at all. And that goes in here. So we're not done yet because this is not actually connected anywhere. It is just connected up to this part. But what we need to do now is sort of behind the scenes here. We need to make a quantum assembler thing. And I believe that it can be, at least 2 of them can be aligned. So that's aligned here. Perfect. And then I need inbounds. Inbound. And this one will be there. So we got 3 inbounds. Perfect. And I need to make neural quantum processors. Yes, please. Then I need to get it back, which is just going to be like this. And let's get to the middle here. And then has to go up that belt. So that's also done. So now the only thing needed, aside from power, oh yeah, this one, that's important. And I now need to drag you onwards to all the way to the end. Yes. 1, 2. That one. And then I'm going to color this pink. And then we get the other one. That will be over here. Get in there. And it's also, I really wanted this part here, this is nicer. And then we color that with the other swatch there. So now everything is hooked up, everything is everything is not powered, the only thing is missing was power. So let's hook up the power and see what happens. Immediately it starts going, and let's have a look at the process as it comes through. The first process is not going to be taking that much power, but this is going to take a little bit of power, like up to 26. So this is actually the most consuming thing you can have in the game. Maybe there's a process in here that takes more power. I don't know. Maybe the AI server takes more power. But this is using quite a bit of power. So how do we actually get our power, and how are we managing the power? Well, we're managing it just fine because I have expanded my power plant to now is 200 gigawatt of power from rocket fuel. It is quite amazing. It's I have a video about it, and then I just spent some off-camera time on quadrupling it. Right, so let's see. Is this working? Yes, this is just making excited photonic matter out of nothing. This one is burning through and then making dark matter crystals. Perfect. The dark matter crystals should be going in here. Yep, they're coming in. No space left in depot, so this is going to be accumulating. That's awesome. And look at that awesome line here. And humming and all that stuff. That's brilliant. All right, so that was the first one. Now we have neural computers. That was not so difficult. Let's make the next one. So we get back to our design yard here, and then we want to make the superposition oscillator. The thing is, like, let's just be honest about this. Neural here, it's only used for the AI server, and then it's used for Mark III. This part here, Mark III blueprint planner. So it's really not used for a lot. It kind of feels a little bit weird to have this, but it gets worse. The superposition oscillator isn't really used for anything either. Superposition, let's actually look at it. Oscillator, I have 2 of those, there we go. This one's only used for the AI expansion server as well, which is a final part. And we only need 254 of those, so it's crazy how few we actually need. And then we Yeah, we probably maybe need it for something else. I don't know. Singularity, yes, the singularity is down here. That's the stuff we're missing it for. So that's fine. But we'll make it. Let's have a look at it. It requires some dark crystals. Interesting. It requires some crystal oscillators. There we have it. It requires some alkyd aluminum sheets, which we can make. And it requires some excited photon, which is just free. So basically, we're going to have this one again. And this one will be changed to oscillator 625. That's no good. I am actually going to do this one. So I'm only going to make 20 superposition oscillators because that means we get up to 500. Why 500? Well, because this one, if that's fully scaled up, it takes 500. And then it makes 50 dark matter crystals. If you look at the dark matter crystals, I put 50 in here. So now we need to make a way. And this is complicated. This is like the most complicated things actually. We need to make sure that the dark matter crystals we just created, we have now an excess of 37.5 dark matter crystals from the previous build. So we can take that and feed in here, and that's just perfectly happy. However, if I'm feeding this in at a full belt, like pushing in at a full belt, then it will use half of this, which is 25, plus, no. If I feed a line in here, that is a merge of whatever I put here, I make myself, and something I get from the bus. What happens then? Well, what will happen is that it consumes 60, and since you can't do a priority balancer, or a priority merger, then it will draw in half of this, half from this side, and half from the other side. That means it's only going to consume 30 of this, of the 50, and it's going to consume 30 from the bus. And that means this one will eventually jam and the whole thing will stop working. And that sucks. So we need a priority merger. We don't have that. There is, however, a trick, and it's disgusting and ugly, but it actually works. It developed it on stream, so this is it works for different things. We're going to be doing this as a test. So let me just grab some material that we know we have a lot of. There we go. Time crystals, perfect. That's a lot of time crystals. We can use those for benchmarks. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to build it, and then I'm going to explain it a little bit, explain the ingredients. So I need to make sure that the 60 that is consumed from here consists of these 50 plus 10 coming from the bus. So this is now simulated from the bus, and I want to make sure that I only get 10 out here. So what we do is, we start by saying this is 60, and it's still 60, and it's still 60, because those are just mergers. Then I'm going to take this and split it into 3 equal parts. There. Now this one comes in as 60, and then it goes 20, 20, 20. Okay. And that means now if I just have one outbound here, let's actually put a box so that it simulates better. Nope, let's put it a little bit further away so it's easier to see. Yeah, so if I just send it through, that'll come through as 20. Now, of course, it's stacked up a little bit, but now that it is in an idle position and this one is always flowing, then you will see that there is a pretty big gap between them, and that corresponds to 20 ratio. So what I can do now is I can take this part out here, and this one will now be split in 2, so I get 20 outbound, that is 10 here and 10 here, and then I just make sure that I feed this back into wherever. And that means this will now be 1 with 10 per minute transferred. It's silly, but this build here can guarantee that only 10 per minute comes through. And it doesn't matter what speed, I can also just upgrade the speed of these. That is fine. I just can't upgrade the speed of the inner ones. Those are important. So that is, that's a little bit weird, but this is something we're going to use because I want to guarantee that the bus only adds 10 per minute so that all of this gets consumed, and then we'll test it. Whew. Okay, so the only thing we need to add to this build here is an alkyd aluminum sheets build, which is pretty simple. So we're not focusing too much on this. And copy and, oh right, How much do we need? This needs 90. So we're gonna put one in. There we go. 45 plus 45. There. And then we'll hook this one up as well. And here it is. This was a little bit more complicated. We're getting copper and alloy ingots in here. Those go into these locations. Then it comes out and gets put on another belt here for the alclads. And then on this side we have, down here we have a merge belt, which will be, this is the merger, and this belt will be the one that's coming in at only 10 per minute. I think actually to make it even more visible, I should do it like this. Just to make sure that it is visualized that yes, this is only coming in, this is a slow belt. And here I marked it as 50 being created itself, and then 10 additional. Okay, so let's save it and stamp it down. Then we have to do this silly thing all the time, and then stamp it down like that. Cool. And we're going to go out and build this as well and see how that fits. The design of this will be somewhat the same as the previous one. I love that it looks like we're going to bump into that, but we just barely miss it. It's also like a perfect length we're flying here. A little bit of a bump. And we do the branch. First do the branch part, then do the Superposition oscillator. There we go. And rotate it so that it fits. That is going to be need to nudge in place. All good? Yes. That goes in here. And yeah. So what do we have now? Now we need all those inputs inbound. And yep. And that's the easiest one. That's the return one. So now I need to make the inputs and outputs. So I need 1, 2, and 3 coming in. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then over here I'm going to make the other design, I think. There, that works. And that leaves room for the other ones as well. So this is going to be the copper inbound. Goes in here. This is going to be aluminum inbound. Goes in here. And this is going to be something else. Quantum? Yes, quantum. Oh crap, just missed it. And there. Right, so let's find those on the bus and hook them up. We've now brought things in, and we are kind of waiting a little bit on this point here. Are we? No, that's fine. We can just send it in, and it'll then be building up a little bit of stockpile, which is not a bad thing. Actually, that's why I want to do it. And this one should be now aligned towards 2 of those over here. Nope, and that's going to be here. And then I want to align it like that, so that it's aligned with the other one over here. Good. So let's see if we can figure out what we want to do. So this crystal oscillator is inbound, so we're gonna build it over here. Go outbound there, and none of those are inbound. This one is inbound, so I'm gonna make it into a yeah, and that is coming into. I feel like I'm missing something. Missing an ingredient. Oh, right. This one's not getting in here. It's that goes straight in. And then you're coming up to there. Good. And that's how it goes. Perfect. And we get one of those in very, very slowly. And then it's superposition oscillators. It doesn't have any power. I can use that to just feed it in the beginning, just to get it into a happy loop. Then we're going to do that, and onwards to and on, and let's do the other part. Yeah. So it's 1, 2 inbound, and that's good. And then the coloring. 1 candy color and the other candy color. There. Then this one needs to be scaled up, but only to 500. There. Okay, so that actually comes out. Good. It's not powered yet, so nothing is coming in. And the only thing we're missing is the output, which I done before. Let's do it like this. And okay. Guess that doesn't really matter. Now that we have these belts, then it's easy to bring it back. Sweet. Alright, only thing missing is the power. And I missed. And this one will also take up to 26 gigawatt of power as we power this up. Let's have a look. We should have enough to get this going. And a lot of excited photons. And this one, the dark matter residue, will flow out. And flow back in here. Yes, please. Please flow. There, it's coming back in. This should be coming in at 500 per minute. So it should be coming in a lot faster. There we go. Now it's working. Why is it idling? Come on, stop idling. There we go. And that should produce the 50 of these dark matter crystals that we need, and then we get the 10% extra from this modest weird interaction. Look at that. The spacing is intact, and this one is just waiting out here to be going through the filtering and then be reduced to a flow rate. It would be nice to have a flow rate reduction or a merged a priority merger. That would be excellent, but that's not really an option. And we got the line in the sky. Perfect. This is working. So we got superposition oscillators now. Only one thing remaining. Back to the design board. And we're going to look at the next one, the final one we want to do. So, for example, the expansion server, that is only for completing level 5 or phase 5, so we're not going to do that yet. And the Fixonium is something we do once we've done everything else, then we might look into what the nuclear actually looks like and make some cool designs for that, if there's an interest. So, synthetic power shards here. Time crystals, yes, we got it. Dark matter crystals, we can make it. Quartz crystals, sure. And excited photon is free. That gets us 25 power shards of silliness. There's no way that I need 25 power shards per minute, but let's just build it and then let it idle. That means it'll kick back into gear when I take some power shards, and then it'll produce them fast, and then it'll be idle. So let's do that. Now the interesting thing is the dark matter crystals here, 25 versus the dark matter residue. So I take dark matter residue and I am going to get, 300 consumed gives me 30 outbound, which is more than what we need inbound. That means we have a slight surplus of dark matter crystals. That's really good. So that means we have something that is a little bit more along the lines of the first design in terms of it going. So the neural computer had a little excess of dark matter crystals, and the superposition had a little deficit of dark matter. But this one will also have a little bit of surplus. So as long as it but we can't guarantee that this one keeps going. So we can't rely on the dark matter crystals for anything. So we're going to keep this this being sort of away from the bus and just saying any excess dark matter crystals will just be thrown away. So that means we are going to be making it slightly different. The only difference is we don't need this part. And oops, here. And this one. But what we do need instead is to make quartz crystal. There. We need a lot of that. We could do it with water. No. We can just do it with this one and just smash the hell out of it with shards. That's gonna be how we do it. Let's try that. And that's gonna be one of these. And then see how much we actually need. Let's build it here. And let's see. How much did we need? We need 150 quartz crystals. Okay. How much can this one be scaled up to? 55. Okay, so let's call it 50. And then say we need 3 of those. That was pretty damn simple. There and there. Yep. And then it's just getting the raw crystals in and getting the other crystals out. So all of this spaghetti down here is definitely just a little bit of cleanup. So here we have the final design. It's a little bit weird. So let's walk through it. The simple part is over here. We get the quartz crystals or raw quartz in, and we get the final quartz out, so that moves on. Then here we have the power shards coming backwards, and then this is the complicated part. We get the time crystals passing all the way through, no interaction, and these two are also the same. But what we have here is that we have a splitter here. So basically this is producing 30 outbound, and those 30 will go into this splitter. Come on, can I just not click the splitter now? There we go, smart splitter. Which means that the overflow is to the left and the center is the straight ahead. So the center is straight ahead, goes in, goes down, and continues onwards that way into the quantum encoder. But any excess, that's going to be 5, goes up here, gets merged onto this line and flows backwards. That's why they've written 5 here and minus 25 here. Minus because it's going to get deleted from the base, but plus 5 because it's actually something that is a surplus of this build. Whew. Okay, so that is that's also has a little quirk to it, and let's put it into action over in our new build. That's going to be the last of these quantum encoder builds we need for now, and that will also give us as many power shards as we would ever want. Like my power plant is using 320 fuel generators overclocked to the maximum, so that's 3 times 320, so it's about 1000 shards that I'm using for my power plant, and that's why we kind of want to keep doing this. I've been exploring and finding all those, and then using summer sloops to get double yield from them, so that's why I have so many. Okay, let's see. So the next one here is going to be the shard. There we go. And there, and bring it in. There we go. It's happy. All right, perfect. And then we are going to get the inputs. So let's have a look at the inputs. So that's going to be raw quartz is coming in. That's the first one. That's I'm actually regretting putting raw quartz on the bus. I should just have put silica and process them up front. Silica and raw and quartz crystal. That would have been simpler because then I don't have to build it inside the modules. And the other part of it was also that I don't really use silica at all for any recipes. And here we have the dark matter crystals. This is not coming out here. This one is inbound, so we're going to take that as an inbound here. And then that one is an excess, but that excess is literally just being thrown out. There. In, and there. It's not even going to be stored. It's just going to be thrown out because I can't rely on this one for anything. And, well, that's pretty simple. So these just go in, and you are going to go into here and then go one up. Sweet. All we need to do is hook up these two lines. So we got our items inbound, and I'm now going to hook up the power. Let's actually just hook it up here. And that should get all this work. Oh, right. Of course. The connection between the two blocks. Never forget that. That gets started. These ones get started on the quartz. Perfect. I'll just jam that one in. And here, this is interesting because the dark matter crystal requires dark matter residue. The dark matter residue comes from the production that requires dark matter. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm sure that we'll find a way. Go on. Where is it? There it is. And then I need to like that. Then it's perfectly aligned with the other two, which I think is important. So, inbounds. This is the crystal inbound. Yes. This is going to be the time crystal inbound, the dark matter crystal. And then I have here the quartz crystal inbound. And then we go on the other side here as usual. That is going to be 1, 2. Go up there, go here, and connect these two. And from this, I think it feels like we've done this before, doesn't it? I love when we build something and then we repeat the same pattern, because I'm sure that a lot of people would sort of reinvent the wheel every time to build this same thing here. But hey, it's I recognize that they looked very similar, so we can probably do something similar as well. And then the only thing remaining is the outbound. That is going to be a silly amount of power shards coming in. And that needs to go on the top belt here. So let's do that. Let's just do that, yeah. And that goes back. And, oh, I don't think I've connected the belt. Let's get that one and then see if I've connected the belt in here. Nope. Yeah, that's connected. Good. Alright, is it working? No. Oh, it doesn't have the... There, and there. Now this is not going to start because it doesn't have dark matter crystals. It will eventually be self-sustaining with dark matter crystals, so we brought a few dark matter crystals just to get it going. And then we'll see the power consumption of this one again. Whoosh, up to 26. It just fluctuates all over the place. It's going to be interesting with these three. How's our power looking? Terrifying, I guess, is the word. Let's have a look if it works. Look at that. 20 power shards per minute. And 20 superposition oscillators per minute. And 15 neural quantum processors per minute. Happy. There is there. That's, and I don't think I need more than this. This should definitely be enough for not only just finishing the game, but also just having plenty of excess capacity. So we are now getting this is already stacking up because we have too many shards already, but this one will just continue and build up this box full of shards, and once that's done it'll just stop working. So this has a lifetime and then it'll be out. There you go. That is beautiful. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. That is 3 more modular nice blueprints. They are very similar, and that means they are easy to manage, so they're easy for you to change if you have something different in your base. So if you want access to them, those are available to Patreon supporters. I'm also still streaming the game on Twitch TV/Nilaus, and we're actually getting close to the end of the sort of the story and progression. And then from there on, we're probably going to be playing with nuclear, probably playing with trains, and whatever else is fun until Factorio comes along in about 2 weeks' time. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys here on YouTube or on Twitch. Until next time, take care and stay effective.